Hi everyone, I'm Melanie Shapiro. I'm an immigration lawyer in Massachusetts. We have offices in Norwood and in Worcester. I hope everybody had a great weekend. So I'm going to get started. The first question that I have is, can you help me understand? I am Australian. My partner is a US citizen. If I go to visit on a tourist visa, get married in the US, and then return home, is that when I apply for CR1? So that's a great question. So if you come to the US and you get married, you can start the marriage petition process. So you can file for the I-130, which is the application, the petition for alien relative for your marriage petition. And then the next step is that it goes to the National Visa Center to begin the consular processing. And then the last step is that you get an interview at the US Embassy in Australia. So it's a three-step process. So if you want to come here and get married and then go back and do your consular processing, that's fine. The next question I have is, do you know when the US Act of Citizenship will become official law? I don't think anybody knows about that. So the US Citizenship Act was introduced by President Biden, I think in March, Marchish, somewhere around there. And it has a lot of wonderful policies that he wants to implement for immigrants. And right now it's still going through the House, I believe. So who actually knows? The last time we had really comprehensive immigration reform was a very long time ago. So I have no idea how long that will take. Hello everybody on Instagram. Nice to see you guys. Um, so it really kind of just depends on what happens. So you should definitely let your representatives and your senators know that this is really important and we want to get it through. I've seen some good bipartisanship work with Biden recently, so I'm hopeful maybe something will go through. I don't know if it'll go through this year or if it will go through in bits and pieces, but we'll have to see. Hello to Sati Borate. Nice to see you on here. Um, so just keep tuned and I'll definitely let everybody know what's going on with that. There are some other updates. There were changes in the enforcement priorities for ICE. So that's a really good thing because before under Trump was just basically going after everyone, and now the Biden policies are more in line to what they were under President Obama. And so now immigration is really focusing on recent entrants who entered after November of 2020, on people who have aggravated felonies, and on people who are national security risks, such as terrorists, gang members. And if you do not meet those priorities, what we are seeing is we can request prosecutorial discretion, which means that they will administratively close your case. And so if you're in immigration court right now and you're in proceedings, we are asking whether those cases are enforcement priorities. If they're not enforcement priorities, then those cases can be closed. I have a question on Instagram. You can provide work permit visa in America. Yes, yes, we do some employment-based visas as well. So those really depend on what your education background is, what your skill level is, if you have a permanent job offer, or if you have exceptional abilities. If you so if you're Oprah, we could get you an O1 visa for extraordinary professionals. So there's a lot of different options for work visas. So I definitely recommend if you schedule a consultation with me, we can look at your credentials and see what you might be eligible for. In order to schedule a consultation with me or with my associate James, you can call the office at 781-461-0100. You can send us a message on Facebook, on Instagram, or WhatsApp, or you can, on our website, you can book directly for an appointment there. And So Satyawai says, I completed my bachelor's degree. Yep, so you might be eligible for an H-1B or for an EB-3, Employment-Based Preference Category 3 visa, but there's a lot of different visas. There's managerial visas between companies, there's religious worker visas, there's all sorts of different visas for work. So get in touch with me and we can look at your case. Thanks. Satish Patel on Facebook. Hello, Satish. Hello, ma'am. Hope you are doing well. What is the option for Canadian citizen and Puerto Rico PR card holder? The best way to come legally to the US with green card or work permit and able to apply for green card in the future. So Satish, it really depends on how who you have in your family that's here, if somebody can sponsor you, or if you have a permanent job offer and you could do an employment-based preference category green card, or if you can get a temporary green card, or sometimes people can come on student visas and then get offered a job and do H-1B or do a permanent job green card. So it just depends on your situation. Thank you for your question. Hello, Manuel. ¿Cómo está? Um, and I have Satai, why unskilled labor demand in America. Yes, there's the H-2As and H-2Bs that are available. So those are for unskilled labor and agricultural work. So definitely hit me up if you want to work on one of those visas with me. The next, oh, hi Fernanda on Facebook. How are you? Good morning, Melanie. How early can we submit the application for citizenship? So you can submit it 90 days before you're actually eligible. So for example, you um, if you have a green card based on your marriage and you have been married for you need to be married for 3 years before you can apply for naturalization. So after you've been married and you've had your green card for 2 years and 9 months, you can go ahead and apply for citizenship. Oftentimes, if someone has a temporary green card based on a marriage less than 2 years, then you have to do what's called removal of conditions on the green card. And so usually the processing time for the removal of conditions is forever. So like almost 2 years. And so by the time you're eligible, you might still be waiting for your removal of conditions when you're eligible to apply for citizenship. So that happens a lot. So once you have a 2 years and 9 months or the 4 years and 9 months, you can go ahead and apply for citizenship. Satya says, do you do video chat? Yes. So we also offer appointments on Zoom or WhatsApp video or Skype. We work with people all over the world. We have clients from over 65 countries. So you don't have to be in Massachusetts to do an appointment with me. We can do everything virtual, as I think a lot of us have learned through COVID. And Fernanda said mine is from work. Okay, so if yours is from work, you do have to have 5 years of your green card before you can apply for citizenship. So when you have your green card for 4 years and 9 months, then you can apply for your citizenship. Thanks for your question. Um, so let's see, the next question that I have is, hello, I'm filing for my husband and kids. A husband is here, kids are abroad. Do I file for advance parole for them too? So if your kids are abroad, they have to go through the consular processing. So your husband, you can do everything here, but for the kids, you're going to have to go through consular processing. All right, thank you for the question. And let's see. The next question I have is, very important for visa to see if USA. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. You can clarify, please. Okay, so thank you for your question. The next question I have is, hello, because vaccines are available already, I would like to know if my mom can still enter the US if she exceeded staying outside the US more than 6 months. So, if I'm not sure, I'm assuming that what you mean is that your mom has her green card and she stayed out for more than 6 months. So, if it's 6 months and less than 1 year, she does not need a reentry permit. And especially with COVID, it's very reasonable, and we're seeing this a lot that people have had to stay outside of the US. And so if she can come back now, that's a good idea. And then when you have your green card, you're supposed to stay in the US for more than 6 months out of the year. But because of this exceptional circumstance with COVID, it should be okay for her to re-enter. So there you go. Thank you for your question. Um, I want to mention a couple of exciting things with the office. First of all, we had an amazing win. I found out on Saturday. Um, I came into the office and I checked the mail, and one of my clients won her asylum case. So I was so excited. I was screaming and dancing all over the office. I was so happy for her. She is a lovely person. She is from Rwanda and she's part of the Batwa tribe, and she's also a lesbian. And so she had been persecuted on both accounts, and I'm so happy that we were able to get her asylum and now she can be safe here in the US. And so it's so wonderful. So let me know if you have any more questions. I see some of the messages coming in, so I will get to those soon. Oh, Fernanda said, do you know how long the citizenship process takes from the time we submit the application until we receive citizenship? Right now, it's only taking a few months, actually, depending on where you are. This is in the Boston area. So it's been really fast over here. And also, they have been doing the oath ceremonies the same day when they can. So everything is going so much faster. So this is definitely a good time to apply if you're eligible. Um, what other thing? Oh, and I also wanted to mention another win that we had at the office is I went for a marriage petition with two guys, and we got their case approved really fast too. So that was approved the same day. So that's really exciting. They actually just moved across the country and they bought a house and they're renovating it and starting new jobs. So I love to see all of my clients doing well. I have another one of the clients who's they had a marriage petition case with me like a year ago. They have a baby on the way, so really excited. The other thing that I'm working on at the office, which is huge, is we're doing a Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals case. And so this is basically one below the Supreme Court. Um, and I have Alma. Hola, Alma. ¿Cómo está? Dios la bendiga también. Um, so I have this one level before the Supreme Court. And right now I have um, just so much going on here on that case, but it's really exciting. I actually bought a gigantic whiteboard to work on that case. So for those of you on the Instagram, I don't know if we can, I'm just gonna show you this. This whiteboard is insane. So just a nerdy little thing there. Another thing that's kind of that I'm excited about is I'm going to be teaching at the law school this fall, and I designed a course called Representing Immigrant Survivors of Domestic Violence. So I'm starting to put my syllabus together and get little things for the classroom. So very, very exciting. I've always wanted to teach, so I'm really happy for the opportunity. Um, let's see. Let me see if you guys have any more questions. See. Oh, another thing is we are doing a summer celebration here at the office, so I'm taking all of my employees out for a day of fun at Kimball Farms. So really excited about that. Um, And then we have a couple of trials coming up this summer for domestic violence-based asylum cases. So that's good stuff. Um, okay, so let me know. I'll stick on for another minute or two. If you have any questions, don't be shy. Go ahead and send them in to me. Anything you want to know about immigration. Um, and I also have, we have La Mega, so I have a radio show every Thursday at 4:30 on 106.1 FM, and that's out in the Worcester area. Um, and so if you tune in, you can ask questions on there too. I also speak Spanish, and I have a Spanish program. I'll be here on Wednesday, Miércoles con Melanie at 12, and so I'm happy to answer any questions you have in Spanish. Oh, I have Kadeen says, good afternoon, hope all is well. What's the process to seek asylum based on domestic violence? Hi, well, you should send me a message and we can work on your case. Basically, the process is if you are not in immigration court proceedings already, then we would file your I-589 application for asylum with the asylum office, and this is called an affirmative application because you are affirmatively doing it. If you're in immigration court, it's defensive because you're defending your case there. So we would have to gather all of the evidence that we need for your case. Generally, you have to file for your asylum within 1 year of arriving in the United States, or if you have a status 1 year before it runs out, so or after it runs out. So if you are here, for example, on a student visa and your student visa expires, you have 1 year to then apply for your asylum application. If you have suffered with post-traumatic stress disorder or some other serious condition, then you can get around this deadline. So that's the first part of that. There's that form to fill out, the 589. The evidence that I'm talking about, I always send my clients for psychological evaluations, especially in situations where there's been trauma, like domestic violence. And then we would prepare an affidavit for you, affidavit of any friends that you or family members you have that have knowledge of the domestic violence. If the domestic violence is abroad, asylum is the way to go. If the domestic violence happened in the United States, there are other options as well. So for example, if it happened in the US, you could get a U visa for victims of violent crime, or you can get VAWA if your abuser is your spouse who is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. And then, so anyway, those are the other things you can be considering. And some of the other evidence is if you've ever had to go to the hospital, or if you've had to call the police, or if you've been to therapy, and we can get notes from that. So gathering as much evidence as we can, gathering country conditions, so that we usually look at the U.S. State Department report to see how women and girls are treated in your country and how domestic violence is handled. And then we submit all of these things, and then we get a receipt notice from the asylum office. And then you would have to go for biometrics, which is fingerprints and a photo. And then after that, we wait for you to get called for an interview, which can take a very long time. If you have a situation where your case needs to be expedited for very, very exceptional circumstances, then we can do that. We won a case of asylum on Saturday, the one I had mentioned earlier if you weren't on here. And that was a case that we had expedited. So we had, once we expedited the case, it was heard right away, and we got the decision, I think, in a week. So if there's an extreme circumstance, then we can go ahead and make that happen faster for you. So that's the process. If you win with the asylum office, great. If you do not win with the asylum office, your case is referred to the immigration court, where you have a second chance to present your case, and they have a much higher approval rate there. So thank you for your question. You should send me a message so we can get in touch. I specialize in asylum and domestic violence work, so happy to help. Um, Lawrence, hi Lauren. On Instagram, my mom has a tourist visa. She was in the US for 6 months and she left in April. Is it too soon for her to come back from to the country again? Yeah, probably. Um, if she left in April, I would wait until October for her to come back. Thank you for your question. Well, I hope everyone is having a great day. I am going to be back to writing this brief for the Fifth Circuit all day long. If you have any questions, you can send us a message. You can comment on this video. I will be back Wednesday for Miércoles con Melanie at 12 o'clock. And just stay tuned. I'll be posting more videos about everything that's going on with immigration. And I'll be back again for the English Live on Monday. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.